A Knight's Quest is quite a strange game to review. On one hand, it proudly wears its influencers on its sleeve and it's a better game because of it. On the other though, the most original parts of it, like its story or its characters, are easily its lowest low points. Do I say it's a good game because of its influences, even though you could just play the games it takes inspiration from? Or is it a bad game for its low points? Let's take a look. A Knight's Quest starts out with you, Rusty, exploring a cave, putting you right into the action. Here you learn how to attack, how to dodge, how to traverse the world, and it's a pretty effective tutorial. The combat is simple. Mash the attack button, dodge the enemy's attack, mash the attack button. It's responsive, it's fair, and with a few later additions, it's decent enough. To be honest, I would have rather had more platforming and a little less combat. I felt like the platforming was the most enjoyable part of the game, but I am a sucker for any game that allows you to run along walls. It's also the fact that the combat felt a bit repetitive. At a certain point, I saw myself running past enemies just to get to the next objective, which made me think, why are they even there? That's not to say it's bad though, the combat and the platforming are the best parts of the game. It's almost everything else I have a problem with. This game has a weird visual dissonance between its characters and its environments. Its environments can be actually gorgeous at times. That's until you see literally any character model in the frame. The characters look downright awful. Even Rusty looks bad, and he's on screen for the entirety of the game. They look like if a kindergarten-aged child's drawings of people were modeled in 3D. It's honestly baffling that they're in the same game as such genuinely nice-looking environments. Aside from its visuals, the game has such an annoying sense of humor. At any time, you could be fighting an enemy or looting, and you'll pick up a literal piece of shit labeled duty. Hilarious. A useless item that fills up your limited inventory as a joke. Trust me, I was rolling on the floor laughing when I opened a chest and didn't get the item in it because one of my spaces had 3 duties in it. Even after I dropped them, I couldn't get the item that was in the chest. Not only is there that hilarious joke, but the characters are also constantly trying to be funny and quirky. Almost every line is trying to be funny and it's incredibly annoying. Just talk. A lot of the jokes make me wonder if the game is for kids, but they curse a few times, so maybe it would be PG-13? I still would definitely not find this funny if I were 13, but that's my best guess. It gets to the point where their bad jokes aren't even progressing the conversation, which isn't funny, and is also a waste of time. The only time I laughed in this game is when I ran into bugs. Bugs like my character sliding along the ground, triggering a closed area combat sequence where I got closed out of the area and couldn't compete in the combat, or jumping into an area where I couldn't land, so Rusty would just ragdoll. That actually made me laugh. Now something that definitely isn't funny or fun about this game is its checkpoint system, or lack thereof. I played half an hour into an area and died, then restarted back to the very beginning of the area. I literally had to do everything over again. Plus, I had to talk to the quest NPC and have the exact same conversation over again to receive a weapon I had already gotten half an hour ago. If you die, you completely restart all of your progress for the area. A Knight's Quest is a hard game to get to because every time I felt something positive about it, there were 2 negatives that were even more apparent. I can see the potential for this game to be good, but I can't recommend a game on potential alone, especially when you can find its positives in other much better games. I'm sure Sky9's next effort will be a lot better, but this isn't quite it.